once price traded through this down close candle, I just waited for price very patiently to end up coming back up into the breaker, and I noticed there was a fair value gap, which is the unicorn model. I entered right as price entered the fair value gap. All right, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Lewis. First and foremost, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, where I post all of my trades whenever I do decide to take a trade on my story. Thank you so much for the support on the Instagram and on the YouTube channel. The growth has been very appreciated, like always. I don't care how much it is, as long as I'm enjoying what I'm doing and you are getting some type of value out of these videos. I am honestly just documenting my journey in trading, kind of recording this video a bit late. Shout out Bitcoin for reaching 58, I believe, yeah, 57,000. We'll talk about that more in the future, but I wanted to get through this video pretty quickly. I have trades from this past week and trades from the week before. I believe I only took one trade that week before, so that one will be very quickly. But like I said, these are clips for Instagram and my thoughts on all these trades, or at least what I can remember. I'll do my best to remember what I was thinking. And honestly, I've been going through a slump recently, a bunch of losses in the past week. It's okay, it's part of trading. I am here for the long run. I know that even with all this that's going on, I am going to flourish from it and learn a lot from it. I am studying, you best believe that. I think what it is that all the information I'm getting from studying, I don't know if it's information paralysis or something. Either way, I'm gonna save the rant for the end of the video because it's very important. I want to talk about my psychology and all that stuff and trading and what's really going on, so that you guys can really get inside my head, if that makes sense. Yeah, let's just get into the video right now. Let's start with my first trade from 2 weeks ago on February 14th, which was the only trade I took that week. All right, so as you can see here, I took this trade off of a breaker. So as we came out of the Asian session, we ended up sweeping liquidity in the lows of London. As you can see, I already have it marked here, and ended up forming a breaker. And I ended up taking my entry off the breaker in the New York session at about 8 o'clock in the morning. The breaker was this low, high, lower low, and then higher high. So I just decided to be patient and waited until price came back into the breaker block. I was looking for a fair value gap. I didn't find one. I don't believe one formed in the lower time frames either way. I ended up entering off of that and then targeting the highs of Asia. We ended up going through it, and I thought we were actually going to take the high from the day prior, but we never ended up getting up there. I definitely took profit, and then I ended up getting stopped out a little bit later on in the day, but that's all right because I already had secured my profits. Yeah, that was what I was thinking on that day. It was an 8 risk to reward ratio. Sometimes you just get stopped out of break even after you take profit, but it's always important to take your profits. Make sure you have your targets, and once you hit those targets, always take your profits. All right, now moving on to the next week. I believe Monday was a holiday, so I didn't trade on that Monday, or a bank holiday at least. But then I noticed that it was a market maker sell model. As you can see, this is the original consolidation right here. This is the original consolidation, distribution, accumulation, distribution. It was reaching for this fair value gap up here on the 15-minute, and then ended up selling off. So on Tuesday, I saw that we had swept the liquidity from the lows of the Asian session. I actually entered off the fair value gap after the sweep of liquidity, as you can see right here. I entered off of this very small fair value gap, filled me in, went up a bit, and then after that just went tumbling down. And that's all right, because once I noticed the market maker sell model, I just waited for another redistribution. And let me just take it off so that you guys can see it. Once I got there, I ended up taking this trade right after. So once price came back into the fair value gap, I took my short and I went straight to my take profit, which was honestly below the lows of this original consolidation, and then a bit more. I believe I left a runner if I didn't just wait until it took profit right under the lows from Thursday from the week prior. But what actually ended up happening was that price was just coming back to this bullish order bar from the Tuesday before. It barely touched it and then just took off right after. Yeah, that's basically what ended up happening, but I ended up making my money back that day, so I wasn't mad at all. On to the next day. So on Wednesday, as you can see here, if you can see that the day prior we had started to go up after the Asian session. As soon as we hit 12 o'clock, prices ended up going up, which is the manipulation, and then just distributed down. So I thought that it was going to do the same thing on Wednesday, which was come up right after the Asian session, manipulate, and then distribute on the way down. And I believe I was targeting the lows from this crazy news candle over here on Tuesday the week prior. So I took the entry off of the fair value gap, and it ended up just going straight up. I was bullish. I don't understand why I decided to take a short, but I did notice that, and I don't know if you could see it in the screenshot. I probably did put the screenshot in the video already, but I noticed that the low of the week was formed on Tuesday. The low of the week was definitely formed on Tuesday, and it was reaching for this buy side liquidity up here. I don't have the actual line anymore because I took it off over here on Friday, but it was definitely reaching for that, and I called it. This was going gonna be the low of the week. But so I ended up entering a long position around right here at 12 or 11 in the afternoon. When this big candle started forming down, I kind of FOMO'd out of it, so I just took my profits, closed the position, and then decided to take this position after what I said, what I had explained over here, which was since it took this buy side liquidity, I thought price was just gonna go all the way down. Doesn't make sense. The higher time frames were all bullish, so I don't know why I took that trade. Obviously in hindsight I can figure out why, but in the moment I just FOMO'd out of that other trade, which would have made me a lot more money if I would have just held. Because if you guys can see, I bought around this area right here, and then price ended up going all the way up to here, which is what, a 0.61% return. Hey, I can't be mad at that. That's just what it is. Thursday was more of a classic bullish day with the open coming out of the Asian session, manipulation low, if you know the rule of thirds. So it's accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and that's exactly what happened in London. We ended up coming down. I missed the entry at 6:30. I don't think I was looking at my chart at that time either way, but I missed that entry. I could have took that long and targeted the highs of the Asian session and maybe left a runner to this high from Friday the week before, but I didn't. Can't be mad at it. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna wait for the next opportunity on the next day. I'm not trying to overtrade, and that's exactly what I ended up doing. But you could see price just took off that day, gave me no type of retracement at all, maybe in the higher time frames. But yeah, I would have had a very good entry right here if I would have just got in with a long in this fair value gap. I probably would have had my stop loss there and targeted this or up here for the highs and had a 6.67 or a 6.75 RR. I didn't take that trade. I missed that entry, and that's really it. Can't be mad at it. And then on Friday has its own price action. Friday is very different from the rest of the week. It has its own functionality, if that really makes sense, and it's very difficult to trade on a Friday. So if you get good at trading on Fridays, the rest of the week will be very easy for you. Thursday, there's usually some type of reversal or something like that, or continuation, depending on what it is, if you know the quarterly theory. But either way, I saw this unicorn model and I just decided to take it. This down close candle was the bearish breaker with this high, low, higher high, lower low, and once price traded through this down close candle, I just waited for price very patiently to end up coming back up into the breaker, and I noticed there was a fair value gap, which is the unicorn model. I entered right as price entered the fair value gap, and it was a 3.18 risk to reward. I targeted these lows down here. It just ended up playing out. Can't be really mad at it. But that was the Friday trade. That's basically it for the trades this week. I have I'm gonna save everything for this week for another time, but as you can see, my chart is very much apart from the stuff that I just did for this video, is very much annotated. If you can see here, yeah, it's just these levels. I'm learning a lot and I'm just trying to take advantage of it. We'll end up seeing, but I actually wanted to talk about what I said I was going to talk about in the beginning of this video, which is the losing streak that I ended up really having, and it's continued on to this week. I lost my trade today, honestly. I'm gonna save it for the next video, but little stupid mistakes that I'm having, and I just have to realize, or I guess I've realized already, I'm not gonna take it that I'm not gonna be that harsh on myself, because I actually did the math and I've only been trading seriously for 5 months. I can't expect myself to be in one of the hardest industries in the world and master it in 5 months. That would just be ignorant. That is the best way to really put it. That would be ignorant. I can't imagine, for example, being a doctor and expecting myself to master becoming a doctor in a couple months. It takes years to get good at these professions, and I've honestly stopped giving a fuck if I lose a trade. Honestly, if I lose a trade, okay, what am I gonna learn from this trade? And I end up journaling it down, and that's gonna be very beneficial. I don't know if you could see it, but I've been journaling every trade that I had for the past month and a half. Honestly, it's been a while now that I've been doing trade recaps and just journaling what I've done wrong or what I did good, what I could have done better, what I noticed in hindsight and all that. But just taking this more seriously and giving myself time. I'm not gonna put the carriage before the horse. I know that this is the process. I'm gonna enjoy the process, and I am going to master trading. There's no other way around it. That's my mentality when it comes to this. I have a long-term mentality when it comes to trading. The crypto money is definitely gonna go into some type of trading account. I'm definitely thinking about taking some prop firm challenges and going for funded account, just so that I don't have to use my capital. I can use my capital because I have capital, but there's other opportunities that I can use that capital for, if you know what's going on in the financial markets of the United States, or just the financial markets in general. Just little stupid mistakes that I still have to fix. It's not gonna take me one day to fix. It's just part of the process, honestly. So can't be mad. I've been trading for 6 months, seriously. Like not even 6 months, 5 months, seriously. I could just imagine myself a year in, 2 years in, 3 years in. I already know by 5 years in I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire in this. I'm not even mad about it. I'm gonna know this like the back back of my hand. I'm learning at a very fast pace, just the amount that I know already. People think I've been trading for years, and I haven't. It's been 5 months. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Make sure you follow me on Instagram, leave a comment, leave a like, share it with a friend on their trading journey as well, because I'm just documenting my trading journey. So I just want to see the progress that I end up having when I go back and see these old videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.